In the annals of military history, there are moments of bravery, sacrifice, and heroism that capture the imagination of the world. One such event unfolded during the early days of Operation Iraqi Freedom, when Private First Class Jessica Lynch, a young soldier in the United States Army, found herself at the center of an intense rescue mission. This video delves into the remarkable story of how the Navy SEAL Delta Force executed a daring operation to rescue Jessica Lynch from enemy captivity, shedding light on the courage and dedication of those who serve in the shadows of conflict. The year was 2003, and tensions between the United States and Iraq had reached a boiling point. In March of that year, a US-led coalition launched Operation Iraqi Freedom, aimed at ousting Saddam Hussein's regime and dismantling Iraq's weapons of mass destruction program. Among the coalition forces were elite units like the Navy SEALs and the Delta Force, specially trained for unconventional warfare and counter-terrorism operations. As the coalition forces advanced into Iraq, the city of Nasiriyah became a focal point of intense fighting. On March 23, 2003, a convoy comprising elements of the United States Army's 507th Maintenance Company and the 3rd Combat Support Battalion, led by Laurie Piestewer driving a Humvee, took a wrong route and fell into an ambush near Nasiriyah, a significant crossing point over the Euphrates northwest of Basra. The intended path for the convoy was to bypass the town, but it inadvertently entered, leading to the ambush. The attackers likely hadn't pre-arranged the ambush as they didn't know the convoy's exact route. Despite some vehicles having GPS, military systems lack detailed navigation, making it challenging to maneuver through urban areas accurately. The convoy, unfortunately, made multiple incorrect turns, eventually facing enemy fire. Lynch was in a Humvee hit by a rocket-propelled grenade, causing a crash with a tractor-trailer and severe injuries. Following the attack, Lynch was wounded and captured by Iraqi forces, initially marked as missing in action. Lynch's capture sent shockwaves through the American public and military command. Reports emerged of her courageous but ultimately unsuccessful attempt to defend her comrades during the ambush. Captured by Iraqi forces, Lynch was taken to a hospital in Nasiriyah, where she was held as a prisoner of war. Following her capture by an Iraqi army regiment, Lynch was transferred to a hospital in Nasiriyah. Hospital staff, including doctors Harith al-Husona and Anmar Uday, shielded her from Iraqi military and government operatives who were using the hospital as a military base. US forces received a tip about Lynch's location from an Iraqi individual, initially known as Mohammed and later identified as Mohammed Odeh al-Rehaif, a 32-year-old lawyer. In recognition of his role in Lynch's rescue, al-Rehaif and his family were granted refugee status in the United States. Initial reports suggested that al-Rehaif's wife, purportedly named Iman and employed as a nurse at the hospital, provided him with information during his visit, noticing heightened security measures. However, hospital staff later clarified that al-Rehaif's wife did not work at the hospital and there was no nurse named Iman there. Al-Rehaif claimed he witnessed an Iraqi colonel mistreating Lynch during his visit, motivating him to seek American intervention. However, the hospital's doctors disputed al-Rehaif's account, asserting that Lynch was protected and treated well during her time there. Lynch herself corroborated this, recalling humane treatment, including a nurse singing to her. On March 30th, al-Husona allegedly attempted to hand Lynch over to US forces, but the mission was aborted when American troops fired at the Iraqi ambulance transporting her. According to al-Rehaif, he walked 6 miles to a US Marine checkpoint to inform them of Lynch's location. After briefing the Marines, he returned to the hospital to gather intelligence for Lynch's rescue, providing detailed maps and security information. The US military reportedly received Lynch's whereabouts from multiple sources, including al-Rehaif. Even as Lynch languished in captivity, military planners began formulating a plan to rescue her from enemy hands. Recognizing the importance of a successful rescue operation for morale and propaganda purposes, the Pentagon turned to its elite special operations units, the Navy SEALs and the Delta Force. Led by seasoned commanders with years of experience in special operations, the rescue mission was meticulously planned and rehearsed. Intelligence gathering played a crucial role as reconnaissance teams scoured Nasiriyah for information on Lynch's whereabouts and the layout of the hospital where she was held. In the early hours of April 1, 2003, under the cover of darkness, a coordinated operation involving US Marines from 3rd Battalion 4th Marines, 2nd Battalion 8th Marines, and 2nd Battalion 1st Marines, along with Navy SEALs under the US, took place. Army's command executed a diversionary attack near Nasiriyah. Their objective was to divert attention from Saddam Hospital, now known as the Imam Hussein Teaching Hospital, while a Joint Special Operations Task Force 121 unit comprising US Army Special Forces, Green Berets, Air Force Pararescuemen, PJs, Army Rangers, 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Airborne, and Delta Force conducted a nighttime raid on the hospital. During the raid, doctors present were initially treated as potential threats until identified. Many military experts defended the tactics, stating that Special Operations Forces are trained to anticipate danger and swiftly secure areas. The doctors confirmed that Iraqi military forces had vacated the hospital the day before, and there was no resistance during the raid. Some accounts suggested the Special Operations Forces had prior knowledge of the Iraqi military's departure, leading to speculation that the event was staged. Claims of using blanks during the raid were refuted by weapons experts who found no evidence of blank adapters on the weapons used in the raid. In the initial briefing, the Pentagon released a video claiming Lynch had suffered stab and bullet wounds, been slapped in her hospital bed, and interrogated. However, Iraqi doctors, including Harith al-Husona, who treated Lynch, described her injuries as consistent with those from a car accident: a broken arm, thigh, and dislocated ankle. Lynch corroborated this, attributing her injuries to a Humvee accident. Al-Husona's version was later affirmed by a leaked US Army report. Subsequent medical reports indicated Lynch had been sexually assaulted during the initial hours of her captivity, though Iraqi doctors who attended to her denied finding evidence of such assault. An authorized biography mentioned Lynch being sodomized during captivity, a claim disputed by the rescuing Iraqi medical personnel. Lynch was transported from Kuwait to Landstuhl Regional Medical Center in Germany, where doctors anticipated her full recovery from her injuries. During her flight to Ramstein Air Base in Germany, military medics kept her sedated and hydrated. Her family arrived in Germany on April 5th to reunite with her, and according to a statement from the hospital, Lynch greeted them with a wide smile upon their arrival. On April 3rd, Lynch underwent back surgery to address a vertebra that was exerting pressure on her spinal cord. Subsequently, she underwent multiple surgeries to stabilize her fractures. Simultaneously with Lynch's rescue, 11 bodies were recovered, 9 from shallow grave sites and 2 from the morgue. After forensic examination, 8 were identified as fellow members of Lynch's company, including Private First Class Laurie Piestewa. All were posthumously awarded Purple Hearts, although the circumstances of their deaths remain unclear. Lynch was transferred to Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. on April 12, 2003 for specialized treatment and rehabilitation. She underwent surgery to repair a bone in her right foot on April 17th. While recuperating in Washington, Lynch received an outpouring of gifts and flowers from well-wishers, prompting her to request cards instead. Her family suggested that donations be made to charity and relief organizations instead of sending gifts. After over 3 months of hospitalization, Lynch was discharged on July 22nd. She received an honorable discharge on August 27, 2003. News of Lynch's rescue reverberated around the world, capturing the hearts and minds of people everywhere. In the United States, she was hailed as a symbol of courage and resilience, a beacon of hope in a time of uncertainty and fear. But for Lynch, the road to recovery was just beginning. In the months and years that followed, Lynch underwent multiple surgeries to repair the injuries she sustained during her capture. Despite the physical and emotional toll of her ordeal, she emerged stronger than ever, determined to reclaim her life and her independence. The rescue of Jessica Lynch stands as a testament to the courage and commitment of those who serve in the armed forces. It is a reminder of the sacrifices made by men and women in uniform, and the unwavering resolve to never leave a comrade behind. As we reflect on this remarkable chapter in military history, let us honor the bravery and selflessness of those who risked everything to bring one of their own home.